Hey guys, another episode of All Things Cello. Today, we're going to look at some minor chords and their shapes and patterns. Composers who wrote for the cello had already figured out this chord shape 300 years ago, just like the major chord. You find these shapes in just about every minor final cadence in Johann Sebastian Bach's 6 suites for unaccompanied cello. In the major chord pattern lesson, we started with a C major chord, C, E, G. From C to E is a major third, and from C to G is a perfect fifth. Now let's make a C minor chord from our C major chord. To make a minor chord, we are going to lower the major third 1/2 step, from E to E flat. Now let's look at how Johann Christian Bach distributes this chord over 4 strings. In Johann Christian Bach's opening C major chord, it is written like this: open C, open G, extended first finger E flat on the D, and second finger C on the A string. Now, the pattern on the fingerboard looks like this: open C, the root note in the bass voice, open G, the perfect fifth in the mid voice, first finger E flat on the D string, which is the minor third in the mid voice, and second finger C on the A string, the root note in the soprano voice. Now let's move everything up a whole step to D minor to find the bar chord shape. D minor, first finger D on the C string, the root note in the bass voice, first finger A on the G string, the perfect fifth in the mid voice, second finger F on the D string, the minor third in the mid voice, and fourth finger D on the A string, the root note in the soprano voice. Now let's shift that chord up and down the fingerboard. Try to figure out and play this common chord progression, as found in jazz, using a mix of major and minor chords: D minor, to G major, to C major, to A minor. D minor, to G major, to C major, to A minor. Did you get it? You may have noticed that shifting up to an A minor chord in the 5th position isn't so practical for good intonation and resonance. As a beginner playing these chords, if you can get a good chord shape under your fingers, 1-1-3-4 for the major shape, and 1-1-2-4 for the minor shape, but don't quite yet know the notes in the chord that you are playing, just focus on the root note in the C string, and then you'll just happen to play the right chord. Now let's go back to our C minor chord. Now what if we move the whole chord shape up to starting on the G string? Action. You get the same pattern but without the second finger, because standard cellos don't have an E string. If you can find an exceptional 5-string cello, then you could have a root in the bass and the soprano voice, but 5-string cellos still don't have an E string. Now let's move that G minor chord up a whole step to A minor to find our bar chord shape. So, now we have A minor, first finger A on the G string, first finger E on the D string, and second finger C on the A string. And since we don't have an E string, your pattern becomes 1-1-2, and nowhere for the 4th finger to go. Now this chord pattern works great as a minor 2 chord, minor 3 chord, and a minor 6 chord in the major mode. It also works for a minor 1 chord, minor 4 chord, minor 5 chord, and minor 7 chord in the natural minor mode. Okay, let's try this chord progression again, but this time switch between the C string and the G string in the bass voice. The chord progression is D minor, to G major, to C major, to A minor. D minor, to G major, to C major, to A minor. These are your bar chord shapes. Did you get it? And that is it for today's lesson. I hope you learned a lot. Go explore with your major and minor chords, and play some of your favorite pop songs. A good place to find some pop songs with lyrics and chords is ultimateguitartab.com and 911tab.com. Links in the description below. See ya.